I am here with one of my amazing clients, Christine. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Courtney. So, my name is Christine Rowe. I am 56 years old from Harleysville, and I'm a marathon runner, a half Ironman competitor now as well. I'm a mom to two children, aged 23 and 21, and I work full time for a pharmaceutical company and just live a very active, busy lifestyle.
I love it. Um, so before we started working together, when you came to me, gosh, it seems like forever ago, what were your main complaints? What were you feeling like before we started?
So I started running in 2005 after my daughter was born, and I did the whole couch to 5K and then just kept progressing on, like wanted to go further, do a 10 mile or a half marathon. And then it wasn't until the last few years that I transitioned over to triathlons because I wanted to expand my horizons. I wanted to learn to bike, learn to swim. And it was right around that same time that I was starting to feel a little sluggish, and I wasn't quite sure if it was due to the uptake in my activity or if it was what I was eating or not eating. I just didn't feel like I had the energy that I should have for someone who's so active. You hear things like, exercise will give you the endorphins and it'll make you have more energy. I felt after every workout, I was exhausted or I didn't even want to get to the workout. I just felt like something wasn't right. And that's when I reached out to you just to learn a little bit more, like, was it something in my body? Did I need more blood work? Was I actually, sick with something? I wasn't quite sure. I just knew I wasn't 100%.
And I want to say, why me? Why me versus, you are also somebody who goes to your doctor, you go to your checkups, you do all the things, you get the blood work. Why did you decide to take the route of going with somebody a little bit off of the normal traditional route?
So, of course, yes, I do go to my regular primary care physician, but it was the normal things. You get your iron checked, maybe, or your thyroid, those types of tests, which I knew everything always came back somewhat, pretty much normal. And I'm like, well, this isn't doing me any good because I'm walking out of here feeling the same exact way. And then I found you through your work and you posting on social media. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to give her a call and just give this a try because it's out of the normal everyday what we all are taught to do from the time we're young. Like you go to the doctors, you go to the dentist. And I'm like, well, that to me is fine and is still valuable, but I needed to do something different. And I thought there's no there was no harm in trying to improve yourself through health. I knew that you were going to actually be able to do that. And I thought if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it did. And that was the key. So, yeah.
So, well, you kind of just answered my next question. Kind of like what surprised you the most? Going into it with an open mind is the key to all of this work, but knowing like, okay, we're looking at root cause, we're looking at a modality that you never did before. Like, what was the thing that surprised you most?
So when we initially started talking, you had mentioned about getting the blood work done, which was the simple blood work, like you would normally do from your regular physician. What I was surprised at was the amount of things you tested for. When you came back and showed me the list of, I don't know, it looked to me like 100 different markers you were looking at. I'm like, oh my God, what is all of this? Like to me, that was unheard of. And then one of the things that always came back with my physician was my cholesterol was a little bit on the high side. And I never had that before. But at the same time, when you looked at the total number, it was good because my good cholesterol was high. And that was something like you were able to look at that blood work and say, well, yeah, this is why, and not immediately say, yes, you should go on a statin, or you should be doing this. It was more of like, this is why things are not in the right levels, and here's what you need to do to correct them. And I will say it was probably a good 5 months until I started to see a significant change in the way I was feeling. Like, it didn't happen overnight. There was a lot of things that I had to change on my end and really start looking at, from things like in the home to like, what kind of candles do you burn, or what kind of laundry detergent do you use? And I didn't make a ton of changes right away because I just couldn't. But more than anything, I was looking at what I was eating, what I was putting in my body, and then what nutrients I was not getting. And I felt like the supplements that we started with kind of cleansed me of the bad stuff. And then the good ones were the ones that I needed to get the energy back.
I love it. And, so, and again, I always tell people this too, healing is never linear. Sometimes there were ups and downs in the process, right? And there always still are, right? There's things that set us back and life happens, right? But what does life look like now through this process? I mean, and tell everybody about your Ironman that you just completed.
So I mean, life has not really changed much, but what I will say is the confidence that I have is completely different now. Like, it's more around knowing that I have the energy and I have the ability to do these things, and that I have the system fixed, so to say. It comes with a lot more confidence. So when you go into these races, you think to yourself, "Oh, I can do this." Like, I have everything working in my favor. Sure, can you control the environment if it's hot, if it's hilly, if it's, a hard course, that kind of thing? You can't control that. You know that going into it. But what you can control is how you feel. And that was the one thing when I went into it, I was like, I feel good. I've been eating good. I've been doing the right things. And now, you know, I have that confidence going to the starting line.
Right, because you're doing the work. It's about consistency. It's about learning what your body likes and doesn't like. It's having the support. And it's not just about one supplement or one thing. It's the full picture of how you're supporting everything from cellular function to drainage and detox and nutrient depletion and all of that. So I'm
And
so
we,
proud of all the work that you've done.
and we've had to change things too. It was a trial and error. There was not like, this is the quick fix. This is, what you're going to do, and you're going to feel better in 3 months. That was not it at all. We've been working together. I don't know, it feels like maybe 2 years now. And it was truly like, Courtney, this is not working. My stomach doesn't feel right, or I'm bloated. And then you're like, okay, we're going to stop what you're doing, or we're going to start looking at things and reevaluate. And that for me has been the key.
I love it. So, what are you, and you still are keeping up with this today? Like you said, we're working together. It's not just like bing, bam, boom, okay, we're done. It's a work in progress, and every day you strive to do your best. I mean, you just ran an Ironman. When was this? Last weekend?
Sunday, this past Sunday, and it was my fastest one so far. So far, it was my fourth Ironman, in my career, and this was my fastest and best one so far. So, everything. It was a perfect day. The weather was great. It did get hot at the end, but going into it, I felt like I am so ready for this. I trained right. I ate right. I worked with you. I did all the things that I was, you're supposed to do, and just had that confidence going into it, knowing that this was going to be, this was going to be good.
I love it. So, so proud of you. So, what would you say to women watching this?
Um, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of everybody else. And we as women have a lot of responsibilities that are coming at us from all different angles. Um, and stop and really take notice to what your body is telling you, because if you don't, in the long run, it will be detrimental to your health and to your mind more than anything. But think out of the box, work with someone like yourself, and just try it. Try, I mean, it's not going to do you any harm to try it and see how you feel. And that's where I was. I was like, I'm going to try this and make the investment in myself.
I love that, and it shows. And I guess as the final takeaway for people watching, women watching, you're showing that age is just a number, right? We see women all the time come in and 40 happens, and then all these little things start happening in the body. And if you don't listen to those whispers in the body and you let them progress, they turn into disease, they turn into progression. So
Yeah.
for the women listening out there that think that they're too old to run an Ironman, that they're too old to keep up with these things, what would your advice be? Oh, it's just menopause. It's just this, that. What would you say to them?
Baloney. I feel better at 56 than I did at 30. So, and at 30, if you would have said to me, "Oh, you're gonna run Ironmans one day and you're gonna be a marathon," I would have said, "You're absolutely out of your mind. There's no way you do that." But I feel better today than I ever have in my life. So, menopause is one thing, weight gain's another thing, hormones, headaches, all the things. Stop, just stop. Like they're all like, I don't want to say they're excuses because they're real. It's real, but you can do things to make it better. You just have to make that decision that you're the most important person because, as I mentioned, if you don't take care of yourself, forget everything else. And I have always been very much of the mindset that until I take care of myself, my mind would be like hamsters running in it. And once I do, then I'm like, okay, now I'm free to give you 100%.
It's true. It's like mind, body, and soul. And when you start to take care of all of it at the same time,
Yeah.
it just changes your
And
life.
it's not selfish. It's not a selfish thing. It's very much so you can give to others.
Absolutely, in all areas of life.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for your kind words and all of your hard work and efforts. You are truly a gem.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for educating me on how to do this as well.